There is no self that awakens. There is no you that awakens. What you are awakening from is the illusion of the separate self, from the dream of a limited you. To talk about it is meaningless. There must be an actual cessation of the self to realize directly what it is. And once it is realized, there is nothing that can be said about it. As soon as you say something, you are back in the mind. I have already said too much. We normally have 3 states of consciousness: waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Samadhi is sometimes referred to as the 4th state, the ground state of consciousness, a primordial awakeness that can become present continuously and in parallel with the other consciousness states. In Vedanta, this is called Turiya. Other terms for Turiya are Christ consciousness, Krishna consciousness, Buddha nature, or Sahaja Samadhi. In Sahaja Samadhi, the immanent self stays present along with the full use of all human functions. The stillness is unmoving at the center of the spiral of changing phenomena. Thoughts, feelings, sensations, and energy revolve around it at the circumference. But the degree of stillness, or I amness, remains during outer activity, exactly as in meditation. It is possible that the immanent self will remain present, even during deep sleep, that your awareness of I am does not come and go, even as states of consciousness change. This is yogic sleep. In the Song of Songs, or the Song of Solomon from the Hebrew Bible or Old Testament, it reads, "I sleep, but my heart waketh." This realization of the eternal, impersonal consciousness is reflected in the words of Christ when he said, "Before Abraham was, I am." One consciousness that shines through countless faces, countless forms. At first, it's like a fragile flame born out of the polarities within you. Masculine, penetrating consciousness with a surrender or opening of feminine energy. It is delicate and easily lost, and one must take great care to protect it and keep it alive until it is mature. Samadhi is simultaneously a timeless state of consciousness and a stage in an unfolding development process, something organic and growing in time. As one spends more and more time in Samadhi, in the now, in the timeless, one takes more and more direction from the heart, the soul or Atman, and less from the conditioned structure. This is how one becomes free of the lower mind, free of pathological thinking. The inner wiring changes. Energy no longer flows unconsciously in the old conditioned structures. which is another way of saying one is no longer identified with the self-structure, with the outer world of form. To realize samadhi requires an effort so great that it becomes a total surrender of oneself, and a surrender so encompassing that it is a complete effort of one's being, all of one's energy. It is a balance of effort and surrender, yin and yang, a sort of effortless effort. The Indian mystic and yogi Paramahamsa Ramakrishna said, "Do not seek illumination unless you seek it as one whose hair is on fire seeks a pond. You seek it with your whole being." During one's ego-transcending practice, it takes great courage, vigilance, and perseverance to keep the embryo alive. To not fall back into the patterns of the world. It takes a willingness to go against the current, against the inexorable crush of the matrix and the grinding wheels of samsara. Every breath, every thought, every action must be for realizing the source. Samadhi is not realized by effort, nor is it effortless. Let go of effort and non-effort. It's a duality that only exists in the mind. The actual realization of samadhi is so simple, so undifferentiated, that it is always misconstrued through language, which is inherently dualistic. There is only one primordial consciousness that awakens as the world, but it has been obscured by many layers of mind. Like the sun hidden behind the clouds, as each layer of mind is dropped, one's essence is revealed. As each layer of mind is dropped, people call it a different samadhi. They give names to different experiences or different types of phenomena. But samadhi is so simple that when you are told what it is and how to realize it, your mind will always miss it. Actually, samadhi is not simple or difficult. It is only the mind that makes it so. When there is no mind, there is no problem, because the mind is what needs to stop before it is realized. It is not a happening at all. The most concise teaching of samadhi is perhaps found in this phrase: be still and know. How can we use words and images to convey stillness? How can we convey silence by making noise? Rather than talking about samadhi as an intellectual concept, this film is a radical call to inaction, a call to meditation, inner silence, and inner prayer, a call to stop. Stop everything that is driven by the pathological, egoic mind. Be still and know. No one can tell you what will emerge from the stillness. It is a call to act from the spiritual heart. It's like remembering something ancient. The soul wakes up and remembers itself. It has been a sleeping passenger, but now the emptiness awakens and realizes itself as all things. You can't imagine what samadhi is with the limited egoic mind. Just as you can't describe to a blind person what color is. Your mind can't know. It can't manufacture it. To realize samadhi is to see in a different way, not to see separate things, but to recognize the seer. Saint Francis of Assisi said, "What you are looking for is what is looking." Once you have seen the moon, you can recognize it in every reflection. The true self has always